What up, gamers? It is Will777JP, and we are back with another one. Now, I just want to say happy 2025. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me in 2024. It's been amazing, and we have reached 208 subscribers by year end. My goal was 200, and we squashed that. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate it, and I cannot wait for 2025. I'm gonna be coming this year with more content, more collection videos, more mail call videos, just a whole bunch of variety. I'm even working some stuff in the background to expand platforms. So there's a lot of big things coming this year that I'm excited to share with you guys in the future. With that being said, excuse me. I want to apologize if you guys hear my son in the background. He's playing his game, and once again, I'm still in holiday mode, so I want to let him be himself. I don't want to tell him to be quiet so I can make this video. I just want to make the video. I'm a regular dude, like I say. I'm not, anybody famous or special or nothing like that. I'm just a dude with a cell phone who loves gaming. Also, I normally, on my YouTube channel, I normally stay away pretty much from the console war stuff. I do have my preferences, of course. And if anybody were to come here, they would see that obviously I own a lot of PlayStation games. I play a lot of PlayStation games, and I also attack PlayStation. I mean, just during the PS5 Pro era, I attacked them for pricing. I attacked them for being anti-physical. I attacked them for pricing discrepancies with the PS Plus. I attacked them for the plates and how you cannot fit them on the Pro if you have a Slim because PlayStation changed the teeth. So I've been attacking them on those parts because they deserve to be, right? I've also made comparison videos, PlayStation versus Xbox, as far as the UI, the store, things of that nature. And I do have preferences towards a PlayStation, but that's to the extent of it, right? I'm a gamer. I go where the games are. So if a game is on Xbox, that's where I'll play the game. If the game's on PlayStation, that's where I'll play it. If there's a game I want to play on Switch, that's where I'll play it. I even purchased a Steam Deck to take advantage of games that are on no console and only available on Steam. But with that being said, I want to bring this article up. And not just this article, we're also going to talk about a few other things. But if you're listening to this, I don't want you to think that I'm attacking Xbox, because that's not what I'm doing, right? Or maybe it is. I don't know. You be the judge. But I wanted to make this video because there's just been so much bullcrap happening in the gaming sphere about console wars, and this one's better than that one, and that's not what Xbox did, and that's not what PlayStation did. Or, like, first off, we don't know none of this crap, right? All we know is what they tell us, and even half the time, that's complete fucking bullshit, right? All we know is what games have released, what games are scheduled to be released, and if we're interested in them or not. Right now, there's a big uproar on social media. If you're not on X, or you're not on Facebook or anything like that, or maybe even YouTube, where you don't dig deep into some of this stuff, you may not know. But there is a dilemma going on because, looking at Red Dragon's tweet here, or post, actually, we'll go to a different one. Because the game science director of Wukong, the guy who made it, did kind of a blog kind of deal, and it was translated in English. And here's a quote from him. "Although there were no big surprises, I still felt a little emotional after getting all of them." He's talking about the Steam Awards because he got nominated for Game of the Year on Steam. Continuing, he says, "Everyone's fighting hard for us, but the only thing missing is the Xbox award, which should have been there, but that 10 gigs of shared memory is really impossible to get it without several years of optimization." So, if you guys don't know, Black Myth Wukong came out, I believe it was in October. And it was basically a PlayStation exclusive for consoles because it did not come out on Xbox, and it still hasn't come out on Xbox. So a lot of rumors were swirling that this was a PlayStation exclusive, that PlayStation was money hatting and wanted an exclusive on the down low so Xbox wouldn't get the game. Which, when I heard that, it made no sense to me. PlayStation has been dealing with third party, second party, first party exclusives since their inception 30 years ago. Anniversary just happened. So why all of a sudden are they now going to try to do an exclusive on a game this big and not promote it? To give you a quick example, Hogwarts Legacy was not a PlayStation exclusive. PlayStation had the marketing rights and they had a mission that was a perk of playing the game on PlayStation. PlayStation pushed that marketing with all their might. And that marketing sold a ton of PlayStations for PlayStation. These consoles were sold to people that don't generally game, but because they're huge Hogwarts or Harry Potter fans, they wanted to play the game, and because PlayStation did such a great job with marketing the game, people thought that that's the only place you can play it. When in all reality, it was a multi-plat game. The Switch came out a little bit after that because they needed more time to optimize. So what the director of Wukong is saying here, he's like, hey, this is our first big game or our first game. So we need experience in order to optimize the game so it can be on the Series S. And because of Xbox parity clause, where if you're going to put a game on Xbox, it has to run on the Series S and the X. It can't just be one or the other. It has to be on both. Game Science is not able to put their game on there. And he's saying it right here. Hey, it's a me thing, right? The console just has 10 gigs. We're not experienced enough. But where have we heard this before? Same thing with Baldur's Gate, Larian Studios. Larian Studios could not get the co-op to work on the Series S, so they delayed the Xbox release. Xbox, once again, feeling missed out that the biggest game of 2023, or one of them, because Hogwarts came out in that year as well, wanted the game on the console. Completely understandable. So what they do, they send some engineers over to Larian Studios to help them optimize this game for the Series S. And guess what? They couldn't figure it out. So 3 months later, Xbox made the exemption and Larian Studios was able to put Baldur's Gate on the Series S and the Series X except for a feature, which was co-op or split screen co-op. The Series S is not capable because it's not powerful enough. And that's just another example, but there's plenty more examples of developers that skipped Xbox or are planning on skipping Xbox, mainly because of the parity clause between the Series X and the Series S. If the Series S didn't exist, all these games will be on Xbox. So, how did we get these rumors? Well, here's one of them. Paul Tassi, so-called journalist for Forbes, title, Black Myth Wukong isn't on Xbox yet due to an exclusivity deal. August 29th. Crazy. And what the Red Dragon is saying here is, Lord, day one of 2025, you want to be journalists. Forbes, Paul Tassi, and Windows Central, Jess Gordon have taken their first L already. Black Myth Wukong dev confirms Xbox Series S is probably why the game isn't on Xbox after bloggers blame Sony PlayStation, which blew my mind. Here's Jess, another guy who writes for Windows Central. He's very popular as a quote-unquote journalist writing for Windows. Wukong never mentioned the Series S, to be frank. Also, 100% confidence from me with multiple sources that have proven repeatedly accurate, including stuff that will come through for me next week. Xbox believes there's a deal in place with Sony to exclude Xbox for a period of time. Also, it was Paul who reported first, but rumors were being shared around Xbox team as early as SGF. This is in August 31st of 2024. And basically what he's saying is the rumor that PlayStation has some sort of exclusivity deal with Xbox. Once again, we have known PlayStation's tactics for the last 30 years, guys. This isn't anything new. Look at 2024. How many first-party games came out from PlayStation? I'll wait. 1? Astrobot. How many exclusives came out for PlayStation? Helldivers, Rise of Ronin, Astrobot. What does Rise of Ronin and Helldivers have in common? that they're not first-party games. Rise of Ronin was a third-party game. Helldivers is a second-party game. PlayStation is known when that they have light years with first-party, that they secure third-party, second-party deals to supplement that exclusivity that PlayStation loves. That is known. I don't have to be a journalist to understand that. I've been gaming for 30 years. So why is it that these so-called journalists can't freaking see it? And here's a quote from Paul Tassi. A source with knowledge of the situation has told me that Black Myth Wukong is not currently on Xbox because of an exclusivity deal and is not delayed because of any sort of technical issue. This is Paul Tassi. Being tagged, this is recent. This is one that came out yesterday. Being tagged in this Wukong thing, but by the end of that, Microsoft went on record specifically to say it wasn't hardware stuff on its end, and it clearly kept gesturing to PlayStation. So take it up with them. You're the reporter, dude. You're the reporter. You only have one source, which is Xbox? Of course it's not. If I'm the competition, I'm gonna lie on my competitors. People have been doing that since the beginning of fucking anything. I just don't understand. Siblings have been doing this since the beginning of time. I took the cookie, but I blame my brother or my sister. What is going on here? These are adults. Like, I'm not a journalist, but yet even I understand that I need to get the same information from multiple people, not just one person. And multiple people that don't know each other. Meaning, if I hear something from my mother and I hear something from my sister, I'm not going to believe it just because they're my mother and sister. On top of that, they're related. They talk to each other all the time. But now, if I hear something from my mother, now if I hear something from my coworker who doesn't know none of these people in my family, and then I hear something from my sister, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Let's dig into this a little bit more. Last thing I want to go over is this article by The Gamer, written October 3rd, 2024. The title is, Microsoft is asking developers why they aren't on Xbox. Let's go ahead and read it. Microsoft has opened a new program similar to Xbox Insider for everyone involved in game development, from those in marketing and user research to community managers, PMs, artists, and more. The idea is to gather feedback on all aspects of the industry so that Xbox can make their lives easier. However, there's one particular part of this program that stands out. As reported by The Verge, principal user researcher Deborah Henson asked, if you aren't on Xbox, we love to know why. And honestly, if you are using our competitors' products, you probably have a great perspective we could learn from. Over the last few years, we've seen countless high-profile cases of popular games either missing out on Xbox altogether or launching at a much later date. The most infamous case is Baldur's Gate 3. Larian Studios, award-winning viral sensation, didn't launch on Xbox until December because of parity issues with the Series S. More recently, reports surfaced that Black Myth Wukong struggles on Xbox Series S, which might explain why it still hasn't been ported, although it could be down to a Sony exclusive deal. Once again, these reporters are just, where are they getting this information from? What did it say here at the beginning? As reported by The Verge. Once again, they're reporting off each other's fucking reports. Instead of going out there and doing their own information, they're just digging from each other. The Xbox Series S has been getting a lot of bad press. Microsoft has split its console into two formats this generation, the Series S and the Series X, to offer gamers a cheaper, less powerful alternative. But there's a problem. Microsoft demands parity between the two consoles. Since Baldur's Gate 3 couldn't get split-screen multiplayer working on the Series S, it couldn't launch on the Series X, and this might be the root cause for many delays. Developers such as Funcom Chief Product Officer Scott Jr. have publicly stated that working with the console is a challenge. Former Naughty Dog and Rocksteady developer Del Walker went as far as to say he wishes the Series S never existed. Suffice to say, it's causing a headache for some developers. This survey might be designed to address these pressing concerns privately, rather than furthering the bad press that the Series S has been bringing to Xbox Store. But what will actually change, if anything, remains to be seen. Xbox themselves understand that there is a problem. They themselves are saying, hey, we will love to hear your input why you're not bringing games to us. Developers are telling them Series S is a headache. And the importance of making a console that's easy to develop is extremely important. Look what happened to PlayStation during the PS3 days. They made a console so powerful but extremely complicated that even big developers like EA said, we might not make games for PlayStation 3. It's too complicated. It's going to take us more time to learn the damn thing than it is to make the damn game. And what did PlayStation do for the PS4? Mark Cerny happened. And Mark Cerny developed or produced the hell out of that PS4 and PS5 to make it accessible for developers. Making a console that the gamers love is a very important thing. But another important thing that goes hand in hand, without one, you can't get the other, is to make a console that is developer friendly. There is a reason Mark Cerny travels all over the world every couple years and speaks to developers from all over the world to see what they need, what they want, what they would like, what they're having problems with, what they need fixed, etc., etc., etc. They are being proactive. Look at the Nintendo Switch. Another one that has a huge library. Why? Because their console is easy to develop for. I saw an interview, I think it was Vice, and they went over to the house of one of the guys, wait, it wasn't Vice, one of the guys who made the Spider-Man game for the PS2. He was part of the development team, and I think his job was to create the physics for the swinging, the web swinging. And what they did is they took Spider-Man 2018 and a PS4 over to him so he can try it out. And so you can basically reminisce based on his work he did for the PS2 till now, and or 2018. And that was his deal. But you know what that guy currently did for work? He worked out of his basement and he made games for the Nintendo Switch. Every year he would produce 1, 2, or 3 games, small, super small indie titles that he could work on himself, and he sold them on a Switch. And he was successful at that. He made enough money to sustain himself, sustain his family, pay the mortgage, pay the bills. No studio to work for, no big overhead, nothing. Just a dude in his basement with a computer making video games. He's got an idea, he runs to the basement and does it. And that's the kind of accessibility that Nintendo gave their developers. That's the kind of accessibility that PlayStation is aiming to give to their developers. Xbox admitted it themselves. There is no conspiracy, guys. And I'm not here to say that there aren't conspiracies in business, because there absolutely is. Remember, this is a competitive market. A lot of markets are. Companies are trying to outdo each other all the freaking time, man. And once again, this is not a necessarily Xbox versus PlayStation thing, because I own a Series S. I actually like my Series S. I put into it close to 500 hours this year. But the Series S is a problem. And it's a problem for the developers. Therefore, creating a problem for gamers. And I get it. Look, the Series S is inexpensive. It's actually the very first Xbox I bought for my son in 2021. I got him a Series S. You know what else I got him? Game Pass. And as a 6-year-old, he was able to experiment and download all sorts of games and see what he liked, what he didn't like, all for a low monthly cost. And then as time went on, he started to figure out what he liked, what he didn't, and we were able to remove Xbox or Game Pass. He still uses the Series S all the time. More as an entertainment thing, right? He watches YouTube on there, movies, he plays Roblox, Minecraft, whatever other games. It's a great starter console. It's just not great for the developers. It's not great for Microsoft when you have people skipping because not just your console, but your parity clause. I understand as a business, if the majority of your customers are Series S owners, you want the game to run the same on both. But unfortunately, you cannot have your cake and eat it too. Sorry for the long rant, y'all, but I wanted to put this out there because it's just been annoying hearing all these people. Like, this isn't anything new. It's been happening this whole console generation. But for some reason, whenever there's a big game like Black Myth Wukong, who sold over 20 million copies in the first month, it's not on a console. It's always pointing fingers except holding themselves accountable. But then a couple months later, like in October, then Xbox wants to be like, hey guys, we would really love your input on why you're skipping us. Motherfucker, you know damn well why they're skipping you. You're sending engineers all over the damn place to try to help these developers out on how to fucking get their game on your console. And you're coming home empty-handed. Larian Studios, right? They go to Larian Studios, they can't figure it out, so they just say, you know what? We'll give you an excuse. We'll give you a go ahead. You don't have to do the co-op online multiplayer for the Series S. Just get the damn game on our console because we're missing out on sales. We're missing out on that 30% to have it on the Microsoft store. And look, that's just Microsoft's time right now. PlayStation's going to do some other fuckery, and they have done some fuckery before. I've spoken about some of those that affect me, and I'm sure they got more out there, right? But man, come on, let's be real, people. But like I said, I'll stop yapping. Keep it gaming.